Great. This is a town council work session. It is November 3rd. It's 5:13 p.m. All trustees and all county commissioners are here, as well as staff members Bevan Harris, John Zarkis, Marks, and Gloria Prosper. Come here, and Willie as well. So. All right, we'll start off. First on our agenda is the San Juan County Sheriff budget. So you all had received a packet with the sheriff's numbers in there, and he is here tonight to discuss it with you. And this will go off every now and then, but it doesn't turn off. It just doesn't get the signal right. So just give us a nod if it does turn off. We're still working through some technical kinks there. It's in the budget. Big news. Yeah.
So, with the SO budget, you notice there's not much change on this year. Changes as far as what's happening on the department, we actually have hired someone. He's going into academy in January, we'll be on board finally in the end of May, beginning of June. And that'll be 2 months of FTO and then out on their own. So we will be utilizing some of that budget we've created for that extra position. Which is very, very good news. Very excited about the person coming along. It's not common knowledge yet. Something where there's someone that's come up in the community. I'm very happy about that. Also had a pretty amazing interview with the gentleman that wishes to move to our community here shortly and who has a wife who's on board as well. And it was just a really, really spectacular interview. Someone to be really, really happy to have working with us. So I think we could be kind of fully at a full staff by this time next week. Absolutely amazing. The things that are going to be expensive for us this year is having some aging issues. It's kind of dying over. We've got a lot of vehicles that we've bought secondhand from other companies that have already been used. Starting to be tired with being used, so getting more and more expensive. Spend a bit more this year, trying to keep some vehicles. Our escrow fund for purchasing a new vehicle is in really good shape. We have enough to purchase a vehicle with left over. I'm going to try and purchase 2 vehicles here shortly, trying to pull the trigger on that now. 2 brand new vehicles. I'm going to try and get the second one funded out of the emergency tax funding, which just put that in, but we haven't really discussed that yet. So I'd be surprised if some of the folks in the room will be making those decisions, but don't see issues with that. At least getting 1 new vehicle on board will keep us pretty sound, but would like to get 2 and prepared for potentially a second as well. Other than that, there's some small cost of living raises for everyone but myself. I don't see any kind of immediate circumstance on the budget for you guys.
No cost of living increase for you?
My salary is statutorily
Got it.
stuck at what it stuck at until the state makes changes, so it stayed there for 12 years. So it's not as bad as.
Oh, gosh.
Hey, Bruce, I got a quick question for you on your budget for 2025 for supplies was at 15,000, but your year-end estimate is going to be 35,000. What was it that was in supplies that was 20,000 more?
I think, I'm sorry, I'm getting to your, so you're on the expenditures page.
Yeah, but for supplies, and I'm looking at budgeted 15,000, your year-end's 35,000. What kind of things was it that we had to spend money on?
That's a good question. Does Willie have any insight on that? I think some of our maintenance on vehicles may have been put into that supplies category, but that went up quite a lot as well.
Yeah, actually, that's on vehicle maintenance because it went from
Yeah,
8,000 to almost double.
1,000, and that's trying to keep these old vehicles on the road.
Sure.
Falling apart on us. I'm about to fully retire 2 of them. That's a good question. I couldn't tell you right offhand why supplies are up that high. It's really.
Yeah, I don't think there was anything unusual or anything big. I think just,
Cumulative.
yeah, and there may be, uh, there may be some, supplies that were purchased for vehicle maintenance, but were purchased with, credit cards, so they came in as supplies instead of,
Instead of
you
vehicle
know, like
maintenance.
if they bought a set of tires or something,
Okay,
that might have come in. I think the other thing is if you go back to 2023, their supplies were 23,000. 24, they were down a little bit. So we budgeted 15 for 25. So it's probably not as, I mean, it is a pretty good increase.
I'd have to expect that some of that might be training too, because you look at our training figures, they're only like $2,600 year to date. And I know we've spent a little bit more than that as well. So I think things just got a little reclassified at times.
Yeah, I can go back through and see if there's any,
anything that's outstanding.
any big ticket item, or two. But nothing coming to mind. Yeah,
And Bruce, you're proposing a new vehicle out of the EMS. Is that,
Yeah,
because you have a new deputy coming on that you're gonna need another vehicle? Is that, or is it just both your vehicles are due?
yeah. So right now we're maxed out. So with a new officer coming on, we definitely need another vehicle, which would still max us out. So if we have a vehicle go down, we've got officers sharing vehicles.
Okay,
So we always like to try and have a backup vehicle, our oldest vehicle kind of around as a backup. And our last backup vehicle is pretty much done for the.
yeah, and you don't need something that you're worried about if you're going out on an emergency, so.
Yeah, it's hard to share a vehicle when we live in such a remote place.
Yep.
Do you have any update or thoughts on the Alpine Ranger program? I know some of the federal funding for that kind of disappeared. And we all know how needed it is. So do you have any thoughts on that? Really?
Concerned about it. I definitely had some meetings with feds recently about just their funding in general. There just is nothing, whether it's BLM, the USF, they're in no real bind. So I don't know if that funding is going to do, deny, but we're going to actually lose what funding we have in the future. We have somebody that's interested in maybe expanding that program next year if we have funds, but I kind of held them off at this point to consider whether that'll still be there. John still likes what he does. I expect him to still be coming up next year to do a couple days a week as the Alpine Ranger. I don't think he's ever gonna quit. Glad to have him, so.
I think the contract that we entered into with BLM is 1,000 a year for 3 years. I think we've got 2 more years on that, so, but Forest Service is an annual thing and doesn't look too
Promising.
promising at this point.
What did, didn't Uray and didn't San Miguel, Uray, all them, hire like 2 or 3 backcountry rangers or something like that? And how far are those, how far are they covering? Just to their county lines or a little farther or?
Oh, I have no idea.
I don't even think Ray has anything going on.
Hinsdale has
I don't consider Mississippi
Hinsdale has.
a substantial program beyond dollars.
Okay.
At one time, San Miguel and Uray paid for a Forest Service employee to be an Alpine Ranger.
But there's just something recently.
I saw something in the news too.
Yep.
It could be, I probably.
Yeah. Or that they were paying for it from their county
Yeah,
budget or.
and I was surprised at the amount. It was like 2 or 3 people, not just one.
Last I heard, so that was before the past sheriff of San Miguel had just retired, but he was not very happy with the services he was getting with the money he was expending. So he put the kibosh on that last year, as far as I'm aware.
Okay.
I don't know what Uray is doing, but I think it's much, we don't have any interaction with Uray, Alpine Ranger, or anybody claiming to be working out of Uray.
Which is too bad because stuff happening right on the county lines that could affect all 3 counties, as we just saw here pretty recently, so.
Hey Scott, the URA folks who were getting funded, they funded them this year, but they're trying to fund them at a lodging tax in URA County and pass some ballot initiatives to keep them on for next year. They kind of scrambled to find money for them this year, but they hired on 2 or 3 of the Forest Service employees who were furloughed by the government.
Oh, they did. Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's great.
But yeah, the future of that program is kind of still in limbo right now until the next election. I think they had a ballot issue to try and get some more money for lodging tax to fund that program.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Austin.
Yeah.
I mean, the budget's not far off this year than it was in 2025. I have no issues with forward with this.
Because for several years, you budgeted for 1 to 2 new deputies and just weren't able to fill the positions. So that was always just kind of a pushback into the funds and stuff, but exciting that you're gonna have somebody, so.
Yeah.
We have 1 or 2 coming on board.
We have 1 for sure. There's a potential right behind.
Oh, great.
It's very exciting.
Is John gonna be more part-time?
John's already part-time.
He is, yeah.
John always only does 2 days a week as SO.
Okay.
He does 2 days a week as outline manager in the summer.
Well, and I think for anybody watching this or looking at the budget, I was looking at kind of the changes from year to year for all these different departments or budgets. And, it looks on paper like the sheriff's budget has increased, or personnel budget has gone up 50% since 2023. But I think the point to the community is like, that's been deferred hirings for that long.
You budget for it, but you're not getting the people.
Yeah.
So the fact that it's higher this year is because we're actually hiring for those. I mean, clarify if I'm wrong, Sheriff, but that's the.
Absolutely. We've given back as much as 23% of our budget.
Right.
Wow.
Exciting.
Very.
Any other questions?
I don't have a question. I just have a comment. Kind of going off of what we were just speaking on. You voluntarily and in a lot of ways involuntarily didn't spend a lot of money because you came to present to us several years back and the previous board denied your budget request and asked you to cut it in half. And you worked with a very limited budget and you did an exceptional job. And we should all be taking example from you. How to run a department, run a budget, and do it on a shoestring budget.
Thank you.
So thank you. Yeah. And like Tyler, Chief, so you guys are out there on the lines doing the jobs. So thank you. Thank you.
Well said.
Right? Go ahead.
Yeah, Mike.
Well, if you don't have any more questions for the sheriff, we
No.
can move on to the Fire and Rescue Authority.
Great. Thank you, Bruce.
Thanks, Bruce.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Our budget basically went up approximately $8,000 from previous year. The biggest expenses or changes are actually in apparatus certifications. We gotta get all our trucks and pumps tested next year. Maybe requirements. So we gotta get those people. They usually come out of from the eastern slope. We got tied in with Uray or Durango, so we're there in the area. That went up. Training, again, we could raise that. We have a number of new guys that have joined that have been going to Fire Academy, have gone to Ridgeway for training, training. So training has gotten up. Those are the two biggest line items that went up. Office administration went up by $1,500, and that's just taking us more hours to just keep in compliance with everything that's going on from the retirement plan to just even doing budgeting or reports and all that. And it's usually myself, Dark Cameron, Daryl, Al, or the guys that are doing the administration side of it. And the rest of it's been basically status quo. We raised our attorney fees a hair in the anticipation that if things get going or we're able to get going on the wildland crew, we'll have to have the attorneys draw up everything and make everything legal in that part of it.
Okay.
So that's the biggest difference. Pension fund, that's been budgeted by you guys, 15,000. The county and the sales tax by 15,000. With that, DOLA gives us a rebate. They give us 62% of what is put in. So out of the 45,000, we get almost 29,000 as a match from DOLA. So that's most funds. So that keeps the fire department pension going a little higher. We're having an actuarial study done at this time to see we can increase the pension to, after you've been there 20 years, to $175 a month over 20 years of service. So we're trying to get that fund up a little bit more, and hopefully it'll be some kind of incentive for the guys to want to stay there a little bit longer. And, you know, I mean, it's not a lot of money, but you get a couple hundred, 250 a month, it might make a difference to some of the guys and stuff. And so, and it's a pretty good return from NOLA, and money used to go to the town, and DOLA does everything on the mill levy. What the mill levy is assessed that, and the county's assessment of the mill levy is quite a bit higher than the city. So we transfer everything over to the county. So we could get, before we used to get about 16,000, now we're getting about 29,000. Hopefully, any questions anybody has? We actually thought it could be higher, but.
I thought we slash it 20% and then he could increase it again.
The training budget you've laid out here, will that also include training for if the new wildland fire program comes on board?
The wildland fire and stuff will be a whole new program that the county, if it goes in, will be started. And Clark Dameron and the guys that want to join the wildland crew will be working that out with the county on how they want to pursue it. Basically, this is strictly for the department and the health structure. Yeah. But
Like the training program, I'm only 7,000, like that seems.
it's 7,750 for each entity, so, but it is pretty cheap, and like I said, we've been able to jump in with Uray and Ridgeway funds for 2 sessions this year. By doing that, it's safe, it's probably money before we did. I think probably go Chief Mill, Ridgeway, and I think we're doing really well. We've done all the extrication classes with Uray, Ridgeway and stuff, so it's helped us a bunch on that.
You guys have done a couple joint things with Silverton Ambulance lately too, haven't you?
Yeah, I noticed how their extrication stuff, it was great.
I think that's what.
And that's our plans for, I think, both organizations to do more training together in the coming year and just be able to help each other more so. So it's going good. We got a good crew and got some guys that joined that are really quite a bit younger. It's helping us a bunch.
People don't stop wrecking their cars either. County, so,
The need doesn't go away.
no.
Me. All right, awesome. Steve,
Thank you. Thanks, Gilbert. Thanks, Gilbert.
we have Bevan and code enforcement. And this is a budget request. We, in the town budget, it's already in that budget. So I want to point that out in that line item for software, and that could actually go down a little bit based on the 3 quotes that Bevan has received. So I'll let you take it out. Take it from here and explain request.
So I'm still working off carbon copy permits, and we're looking and required to digitize and make it our permits and inspections more accessible to the public. So been looking at software that integrates with community development. It can integrate with Public Works, Parks and Rec. So they basically can take your permits and applications, inspections, and digitize them, and then allow me to do inspections like either virtually or with a tablet.
Wow.
And it also automates communications like emails, inspection reports. There's a whole code enforcement side of it as well that we can incorporate. There's a planning side to incorporate later. There are different modules. So I've been looking at multiple companies. I narrowed it down to 3. And after some review, both based on price and that came down to 2 that were essentially the same pricing or close to it. The one that I decided to go with was it's called iWorks, and it's partly based on, it's the packet that I gave most of you. It's about $6,000 a year. The first year incorporates some GIS integration setup. So it's $8,250 for the first year. And then about $6,000 every year after. And that's primarily for the building inspection and code enforcement features. And then if we want to, at a later date, start incorporating planning and licensing, Public Works, we can do that, and that annual fee would come up. The company iWorks is based out of Logan, Utah. Discussed with 3 municipalities today, and they all had glowing reviews of the company. Some of them were with them for over 11 years. So the other company that we looked at was called Cloud Permit, and they're good, but we were warned by a couple of municipalities that they're great on the upfront, and then when you sign the line on the dotted line, you pay them, that customer support rips off. So iWorks is based out of Utah. My communication with them has been excellent. They definitely been on me to support us in pursuing them, but this could certainly help me in day-to-day and, save me hours at the computer. And there's on proposal 72 units in Cascade that could start next year. And if that happens, right now I've got 8, 9, 10 homes down there going on. Aside from much more in North County as well. And so whatever, this is quite a bit cheaper than hiring a part-time staff member to just manage the back end. And I can utilize it in the field, and it's web-based, it's GIS. It integrates GIS as well for locating. And it's pretty much where every municipality is going. OpenGov is a common program that people use. Quite a bit more money, better for bigger municipalities. This one can adapt to the size and scale of our community. And so, if this number could be shared between town and county, it would reduce that cost for the town upfront as well. And we're having to go to digitize permitting, and
Is that a state mandate?
it is.
It is, okay.
Yeah.
Willie's favorite term, unfunded mandates.
Yeah.
Unfunded.
Unfunded, yeah.
Unfunded.
Yeah.
We're used to.
What's the time frame for that transition? When are we required to do it?
I don't know if there's the definitive, we're supposed to be in the process of doing it. I don't know if what aspect we have to have on a deadline. We could, if we said yes tomorrow, we could start uploading forms and documentation and permits. And then we would start paying at the beginning of the year. I think, and it like this contract is a 3-year contract. We kind of know definitively what the numbers will be. And then if we decide after that time, we don't find it beneficial, we can opt out.
Do we get our data back? Like if we decide after 3 years, can we reach?
Yeah, they do. They backload it. Yeah, we could.
Yeah, so we would have a digital copy of those 3 years if we decided this system.
Yes.
But we still have physical copies as a backup.
We do, because I have them. That's everything.
The new system, because I see they use AWS and there was like a huge, AWS outage last week. So
Right.
just if we needed some backup copies, will we still do those?
Probably. I could just print them up
Yeah,
in that regard. Yeah,
I don't trust anything.
I know.
I imagine there's got to be something in here about their, data protection.
Yeah, they have a consumer data thing in here, which they have storage on AWS. So
Amazon.
Right. We're not gonna be exceeding their data capacity, I doubt, so.
100 gigs, yeah.
Actually,
Okay.
yeah.
do we know?
I think this pays for itself. I think this is,
Yeah, absolutely.
this is a good one.
Yeah,
First year, what, 8250?
yeah, the third company was a company called GeoCivics, and I didn't like their platform at all, but their initial one-time setup costs were $18,250. I think OpenGov was in that same range, like close to 20. The annual costs on this are $8,500, but those initial setup costs, and that depends upon what features you have in it. So to be able to get this and then get a company that is locally based and they've been in functioning for over 25 years.
Okay.
So,
And what other communities have you talked to that use them?
Trinidad, Conejo.
But you've spoken to, okay.
I spoke to 3 today.
Makes me when somebody's half the price of
No, I mean,
The other stuff.
yeah, Cloud Permit was in the same ballpark.
Okay.
And Basalt uses them and they seem to like them.
Oh,
Said another word. And then we had a discussion with another municipality and they had a warning for us, so.
Perfect.
great.
Oh, well, we trust.
Bayfield also uses them, but they've had change in staffing and he was concerned that they may not have people that have been using it long enough to give you an authentic response. But yeah, that I spoke to one of the municipalities has used them for 11 years and they, you know, none of them of the three municipalities had said anything negative to say about it. So
efficiency for you, efficiency for the process, it essentially pays for itself. I think this is a great one.
Mhm.
This is good.
And
yeah, I
Probably limits some
another
liability.
question, can we pass the cost on to the permittees? You know, just
Yeah.
increase our fees to help cover these costs.
I'm happy to do that.
I think we should.
I mean, it's an administrative cost of
Yeah, it's
doing.
built right in. I think it's great.
Yeah, we're already doing a permit, but because this is another unfunded state mandate, we got to figure out how to fund it. So why not let the consumer who's knows that's just part of doing business, if they want to build here or Cascade or anywhere like that. So why not?
Yeah, I started reviewing our fees, permit fees, and I can certainly bring it to our next meeting and just as a review of where we are in that lineup. But there's certain costs we could expand where we require permits as well, which could be,
Sure.
could easily cover it.
Well, let's not make, there's a balance around charging more people to do more things and also being more open to people just doing things. But I think, again, when we have to bear, this is a cost of doing business. So how do we help the folks that need this type of business to help share that cost?
Right. Well, part of it also, they can get the service quicker. I mean, I've done inspections with an hour notice, so it's, we try to guarantee 24 hours what the state requires. But that availability and be able to expedite it and also save, residents money as well in some cases.
Willie, do you have some input? Is this something that we would do maybe an intergovernmental agreement as far as?
Yeah, that's just part of the
Yep.
building inspector code enforcement.
Okay.
So yeah, that's not a problem. And I think I was just gonna, and Gloria can correct me here, but essentially what we've been collecting on building permits is paid for the department and then some.
Yes.
So, I mean, I think we can add this in and we're not gonna be absorbing much of a cost, if anything.
Okay.
And if we are, then we can adjust.
Then you
right?
adjust.
But right now and I mean, of course, the unknown is who's gonna be getting building permits in the
Right. How many who?
next couple of years. I mean, that we're in a kind of a strange time. But potentially, I mean, if any of this comes on down at Cascade Village, I mean, it could be huge. But yeah, I mean, if we see something even, close to where we've been the last few years, the department pays for itself, so shouldn't be a problem adding that to it.
I can target like dog houses and chicken coops.
Outdoor swimming pools, do we have a permit fee for that?
Bubbles.
Yeah, igloo, cold plunge, new state, new thing.
Set to go up 2.5%, and that would be built into our fee schedule that we'll adopt at the end of the year.
Great, yeah.
I have two things I just really would want to make sure, Bevan, as you talk to them. One, if we, again, really confirming that if we do go with them, but then don't continue with them for whatever reason, that again, we get that record of our permits for the last however many years, because I would think we want that data. And to Lindsay's point, making sure that there's some sort of a backup if,
Sure.
you know, AWS is unreliable. And then my question to you is, these kinds of systems, I think, can lead to efficiency in the long run, but they also take staff capacity to set up. And so do you feel gung ho, ready to go, be like, this is what I want to start using, and I can create the space and time to get this set up to work for me?
Totally. They do some training. I've had demos, I've viewed demos of the program and, the public view and then the back,
Mhm.
office view of the program. And I mean, just reviewing it could save me hours in a day.
Great.
So, a lot of times when I'm in the field and knowing that I have to come back to the office to send out emails regarding that in this program, much of that is done either automatically or when I press a button after an inspection or,
Yeah.
so that's a huge, and it's systematic. It's, and even payments. So we can take payments online, permitting online.
Yeah.
They can still come into the office, but the option to do that, as well as integrating with code enforcement, it's the direction that we're going in anyway, but, the permit aspect of it is there's a lot of repeat, you know, actions that I have to take.
Yeah.
And when that's, all that information is in the system.
Yeah.
And I just input a person's name and then auto, populates the form that,
This-
that could be 20 minutes right there just on that.
Great.
So.
Yeah. Great. Good to hear.
It's gonna take so much work off his plate and reduce him to half-time.
Basically.
You heard it here. So the plan is to just add this to the IGA. Yep, yeah.
Yeah, so it'll go in our budget, and then in the IGA that I think you all had, you'll see that the town has owed the county back funds, and that's because we collect both the town and the county permits
Mhm.
here. And then if there's any left over, we give it back to the county, so.
Great. Thanks, Bevan.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, next up, we got Willie.
Okay. I got a lot of numbers in front of you. I guess I kind of like to play with numbers. I think when you're doing budget, it's kind of a good idea to know where you're hitting, where you're coming from. So, you know, what I included was, the sales tax, broke up by the town. And when it says town sales tax, it's the 4% that the county collects, not the, you know, the town has its own 1% on top of that. So if you look at numbers and they don't quite match up, that's why. So just to give you an idea where we're going, the town is sales tax wise is up for 2025. You know, no, we haven't collected November or December yet, which is actually September and October. I think September was good. I think October was great, going great until we had that little sprinkle, kind of dampened things.
Hey, I actually added up my October sales, Willie, and they're identical to last year's.
They end up.
Now, if you're on Blair Street, it's gonna be a whole nother story, but because we had such good sales, those first 10 days of October, that was like September.
Yeah.
That's more than made up for it. So we really lucked out as far as that goes. Now, there's definitely gonna be some sales tax decreases from the Blair Street merchants, for sure.
And then the county sales tax, we're down just a little bit, not too bad. And just to, I think you're all aware of this, but it's a 4% county sales tax. the county collects or collects it all. The county keeps everything outside the city limits. The town gets everything within the city limits. So that's how that's broken down. Emergency service sales tax is a 2.5% sales tax, collected countywide. And it's pretty healthy, better than last year. And then just, informational, what we've collected as far as, what we call, or what the state calls remote sales tax, taxes that we would have collected before the Wayfair court hearing. And chunk of money. It's been pretty handy for both the town and the county.
I think, Willie, that is I looked at it and thought, okay, it looks like it's a number about 10% of our total sales tax collection that we could ascribe to this category. Do you think the categories from the state underrepresent it or overrepresent it? Or do you think it's pretty accurate?
Yeah. When you go in and look at, now this is what the state defines as remote is anything that doesn't have a presence within the state. So we get a lot of sales tax that isn't from a local business, but has a presence in the state.
And that'd be categorized as local.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's potentially underrepresenting the total share.
So, yeah, if you wanted to go through and see how much was actually, I mean, you could go through and actually pull out.
However many vendors, yeah.
So, yeah, when you look at these numbers, they're numbers that we wouldn't have collected or what just wasn't available to us. But when you look at what's left, that's not just what we're generating within the county.
This isn't the total number for what we all purchase online. Yeah.
And then lodging tax has been coming in a little behind schedule, which has me a little concerned. Of course, the way lodging tax is paid, it's there's no rhyme or I shouldn't say there's no rhyme or reason to it, but it comes into, that it's not a consistent thing. Our next one will be the one that tells us where we're at when we get the big chunk. I think regionally, well, I think nationally, lodging has been and for whatever reasons. And so I expect it to be down a little bit, but hopefully it will be fairly reasonable. We'll find out here in 5 days.
I had a question on these in terms, so I see the breakout on the side, that all makes sense. I haven't been paying close enough attention to the county budget. But is this, does the county allocate these percentages and spend it down completely every year? Or does it depend on the request you, like, is there a fund balance? I mean, not a fund balance per se, but like a tax fund balance
So
is in the account.
it's broke down 40% to tourist promotion.
Right.
And that's the lodging board
Right.
makes those determinations. And then 40% goes into affordable housing and 20% into enhanced experience.
Right.
All three of those have separate accounts. So any money that isn't, so if we bring in, we're at 34,000 for affordable housing.
Yeah.
So if we bring in 34,000, we only spend 15,000. That 19,000 is going to go into that fund
It
and
carries over. Yeah. And it's allocated for that.
it has to because it's earmarked specifically.
Or voter designated.
So it can't just go into the general fund for any expenses. related. So yeah,
Gotcha.
that if we don't spend it, it'll build up, and that was actually kind of the idea. And when we say affordable housing, that also includes childcare.
Yeah, affordable housing.
We did spend that down.
Yeah. Mhm.
We spent a considerable amount this year, childcare.
And are these funds, do you have a sense of what the fund balances are? Like, does the marketing money, I think the marketing board, they allocate pretty much all that. That gets all the.
Well, they've actually been over allocating.
Yeah.
No, and intentionally, they had a large fund, but large fund balance, and the idea was to fund about 100,000 in requests a year.
Gotcha.
And with what they have, that would carry through for about 10 years.
Okay, gotcha.
So assuming the numbers stay at the rate they are, I don't have, I do know what those numbers are.
I have them off. It was a question I meant to ask Laura. I was like, well, do we have fund balances for any of these things? But yeah, that's great. Thank you. That's helpful clarification.
Uh,
I hope that number comes in strong.
Then when I got tired of playing with numbers, then I started playing with charts.
The charts are.
They were fascinating.
No, they really are. Yeah. The property tax issue, and we've got a ballot issue, and we'll find out tomorrow or tomorrow night if it passes or not. And it's a difference of about $85,000.
That's for the county
Right. Mhm.
side.
Yeah, not that it would be devastating if we didn't get it, but my concern is that it ratchets down. So when you look at these property tax charts, 2009, both the town and the county, that was their peak in property tax revenue when adjusted for inflation. We're now just getting back to that level.
Mhm.
And it's cyclical. If you look long-term, it's, values go up, values go down. I wouldn't surprise me if we start to see a decrease in values over a few years. Could go the other way, but I just kind of feels that way.
Mhm.
Problem is, it goes down and property tax is based on that value. And it goes back up. Well, you're limited to that 5.25% increase every year. And, without that limit, it took us from 2009 to, with some huge assessed value increases to get up to that level to where we actually have a reasonable amount. So that was one of the reasons we put it on the ballot. We also, in our budget, we have earmarked, if it does pass, part of that, a good portion of it will go to the Silverton Family Learning Center, and a good portion of it will go to or be earmarked for the establishment of the clinic. So if it doesn't go through, I think we can find some other resources to help them out. I don't think it's critical, again, I don't think it's critical, but I think it's those are a couple of places where it would be good to send some money right now.
Well, I think what this really shows too is just a couple of things. One, it took that long for the Silverton market to actually really recover from the 2008 crisis and housing crisis, right? And I think it's too bad you couldn't include this chart in your ballot measure, because I think it was surprising to me, and because I think people have felt this experience of property values increasing so much if you were trying to buy a home or do other things. And that is true. And assessed value does not always equate the same thing as market value, but I think it just really is interesting here how long it took to see that change. And to your point, when we aren't allowed as county or municipal governments to realize that percentage increase, it really hamstrings us, because things can go down significantly and then you can never recover. from a revenue perspective when all of our costs are going up. So this was really interesting. Good luck.
Then, I did, I start, sales tax, again, the 4% town sales tax. And, again, you can look at sales tax, and this was from 2000 to 2024, but I've done them before, all the way back to 1988. And sales tax, when adjusted for inflation, really has been flat until you see this last, over the last 5 years where it's really taken off. I mean, COVID influence, basically, up until that point, sales tax has been just real flat. I mean, it's great, but I mean, it's a great source of revenue, but it really hasn't
And
done a lot of.
we think maybe from the finance committee's perspective, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but we think maybe this year also, it's not because we're seeing more people, it's just because people have raised their prices, so.
Yeah.
I mean, the adjusted for inflation number is interesting.
And that's why I adjust for inflation, because if, you see that increase going up, I mean, the blue line, it's going up pretty good, but then when you adjust for inflation, it's like, not quite so much, because it looks good. And then just, one of the things that I did just kind of to see, or I listed the things that had impact sales tax.
Yeah, that was really.
And kind of interesting, and but it also shows, I mean, how easily something local, national, international, I mean, have such an impact on sales tax.
Well, and I think too, this tells a similar story of economic downturn correlated to the 2008 financial crisis.
Yep.
And what's striking to me is I'd be curious how this plays out in other communities, but it just seems to me that it takes Silverton an extra long time to recover, because we're so dependent on discretionary spending of people vacationing, shopping for things, buying things. And then when you think of an economic downturn, I hate to be downer, but this is a hard place to live and make a living. And so if the economy is even worse, it's the kind of place that people leave to go find other opportunities. And so that when you look at this in the long scheme, it's kind of like, it takes us a long time to get out of those scenarios.
And if you look at the sales tax chart on the right, you'll see, the blue line is the sales tax that we've collected. The green line is adjusted for inflation. And then that red line was the reduction. If we hadn't been receiving that remote sales tax, that's where the blue line would have been. So, and, county sales tax or county, charts similar, emergency service sales tax. And then the lodging tax. So, just kind of interesting to see, like I say, there's a lot of numbers to look at. I didn't put them in the packet. I did some pie charts of what the average monthly sales tax was over that period. And I mean, it's obvious, your July and August are the big ones. And but I've got some other charts that do that. So yeah, it's kind of fun to play with it, but it's also, just looking to see if there's, if you see any trends or anything that some red flags.
What year was it that ATVs were voted out of town?
He has that.
2021. So about the same time COVID was happening, so.
Well, and it strikes me, I mean, we have numerous business owners in this room. We have one former business owner online. I've been thinking a lot about economic development, and there's this component of what is town and county role in supporting economic development and resiliency of our local economy and of our local businesses. And how do we do that? You know, that like, obviously there's only so much we can do to protect our business owners from some of these really localized shocks, much less the like national shocks, but just, it still just always makes me think it's hard to run a business here. It's hard to maintain a business. And then when you have these really sensitive changes, I think we've seen some really positive growth and we're also really vulnerable to things. So what is our role like San Juan Development Association and town and county in thinking about economic development for the long run and resiliency? I don't know. Future joint meeting, maybe.
Tim, do you think lodging tax collection and people staying in hotels and stuff went down because after COVID, they started going overseas, or just the prices obviously of staying in a hotel or motel have gone up, so are more people buying RVs and camping? And just, I mean, did RV sales do this coinciding with hotel stays going down, or do you guys have any ideas on any of that?
There's some regional data, just looking at the Southwest region, that indicates the mountain region, us, some other communities, experienced a downturn just in the cost of an overnight stay, where Durango increased a little bit, Ouray increased a little bit. What we saw, just due to the cost of conducting business, that captured sale went away. So you see folks move on to the next community.
I got you.
Because of our prices.
Yes,
Wasn't there also a downturn in just international travel?
absolutely.
Yeah.
International travel was down across the board, over 70%.
Like people coming here.
The biggest indicator for the United States is Las Vegas, and they were down 15% this year.
They're down bad in all sorts of areas. They're having a tough time.
No one wants to gamble.
And another great example is Canadians. You know, we hardly saw any Canadians this year.
98% drop in Canadians in the state of Colorado.
They're
Wow.
That's a real
That
statistic.
came from
98.
Colorado Tourism Office.
Wow.
they're mad at President Administration.
Mhm. So, and we've seen it,
Harder to get.
and we felt that locally.
Yeah.
Lost a lot of the tour groups that we would have had, and had several cancellations already for 2026. They would have been big ones. So
Really? Huh.
over 50,000 in just revenue.
Wow.
Been tough, but these are the ebbs and flows and the booms and busts that Silverton has experienced over 100 years. And you read in any of the history books that you sell us, you'll read that exact quote, booms and busts.
I feel like just where we live, so much more affected by so many different things, from avalanches to rock slides to mudslides.
Absolutely.
Whatever. I mean, we're just affected more than just folks normally, I think. There's just so many things that can happen.
I mean, the fall, it's like, well, why was October so great? Well, the leaves are really great. I mean, it's so outside of our,
These lasted an extra 3 or 4 weeks.
So much
Yeah.
normal.
so many things outside of the control that if
Yeah.
that wouldn't have happened, it would have been a really tough October for people.
No, this past September and October were fantastic.
I just read an article that lodging national wide is down, and they're, you know, the industry is feeling the pain, except for luxury hotels. And they are, I mean, your big hotel chain, you know, Hilton, et cetera, are doing everything they can to build luxury units, because there's such a demand for it. So I think
It's that travel with the disposable income that.
no, I think that's
Business travel or something.
between the inflation, you know, just inflation and uncertainties of the economy are pulling back a little bit. The people with lots of money.
Don't have to worry about it.
Not so uncertain.
But yeah, I mean, I think you can see, I mean, go back to COVID and, you know, where, I mean, you know, everybody was escaping the cities to come to the mountains. The campgrounds were packed to overflowing. Everything, I mean, you know, checked out I mean, you know, Silver Lake Campground, I mean, you drive by there and they had people stacked on top of each other, and it's like, you drive up there, you know, late in the afternoon, going to the transfer station or whatever, and it's like, they've got empty sites out there. And it's, I think, yeah, I think it is just kind of a slowdown of the economy. I think it is people, you know, as the rest of the world opened up, people are going back to more routine. You know, to a certain extent, and again, you look at the sales tax, we're staying pretty good. We finally shot up and we're staying up there. I think COVID, for whatever reason, I don't know, whatever, a lot of people discovered Silverton and the mountain, you know, and a lot of those people keep coming back or will keep coming back. So, you know, it might have not been intended as a marketing device, but I think we benefited from.
What I do have faith in is our community's ability to pivot. And this is just another pivot point. Market's gonna go in another direction, and it's our opportunity to go with it. I just think we need to do a good job of understanding where it's going.
The other thing I don't know, is that could potentially have had an effect, but I don't know because I don't know how they book their rooms. Is EPA didn't get fired up until the end of the season, so.
After Labor Day.
Yeah, I mean, the Prospect Hotel the last couple of years and plus several vacation rentals were just booked for the whole summer with ER and some of the other contracts. Now, if they book those rooms for more than 30 days, there's no sales tax on it.
Right, and there's a rental.
So I don't know if.
Did it benefit us or hurt us?
Booked as regular rooms, I don't know if they generate a sales tax or not, but just from a business owner's perspective, you know, going from having that steady source that you cut off, it's gotta have an impact on them as well.
Yeah.
But then, you know, catch 22 is that all those rooms are full of EPA and different people like that. It's not tourists that are like.
And they're not necessarily
So-
spending.
Right, no, and that, I mean, that was one of the arguments we may have made with EPA when it first started, was we were concerned that if you bring in all your contractors, take up all the lodging, you know, that's great. But the tourists won't be able to find lodging. They won't be here to eat at the restaurants, visit the gift shops. And, you know, because, and again, back to word of mouth, you know, if those people aren't here to stay, they're not going home to tell their friends and family, this is a great place to go spend the week. So,
Yeah, because if you have like say this EPA guy that stays for 3 or 4 months in one place, he may come buy T-shirts from me one time, but if you have a tourist staying in that place, every single day is a different tourist, they're gonna spend a lot more in my T-shirt shop.
it's always about the t-shirt.
Always.
Well, it always boils down to that, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, but that's totally, I mean, that was totally one of our concerns.
Yeah. Well, I've just thought lately, you know, we've made incredible progress on housing. We've made incredible progress on kind of the public works infrastructure side. Like we've tackled so many big things that now maybe it's time to resurface that economic development questions, kind of say, okay, what are our strategies here as a town and a community around economic development? How are we supporting our local businesses? How are we fostering new business opportunities? I know Salmon Development. But it's just, yeah, it just made me think, how do we resurface that strategic conversation?
And even one observation was how much do we market, because we have been found. And we're back to the gills. Do we want another 200 people a day on the Ice Lake Trail? We already got 600 a day. We got to a different trail.
Or up Animal Sport
Yeah.
on the road too.
Like, do we even need? Because we have such, I mean, that sounds crazy as a business owner saying that, but we have reached that point of saturation in some areas. I'd love to see the train carrying in another 100,000 of pollution.
Things like that. We need them off the trails and on Main Street. That's what we want. Off the trails and on Main Street. That's it.
And
Already closed.
I told you people said that, they're right. So we need to give legs to that rumor and just keep everybody in town. That's the new economic development strategy. I heard it. Well, that's really helpful, Lily. Thanks for the charts. Yeah, very interesting.
I just bring up a couple quick things, Willie. Just congratulations to the Silverton Creative District for being certified as a Colorado Creative District. That's amazing. And then congratulations to Gloria, Lucy, and your crew on this American Planning Association Colorado Chapter Honor Award for Planning Excellence. I mean, that's an incredible award, but I will just say, just congratulations on getting your rules and regulations, your ordinances, you know, your land use code. That's a huge thing for a small town to take on and get that done. And so congratulations on that too. And that started a long time ago. It's culminated now, you know, so congratulations.
That is a working document, so we're always going to be.
We're working.
We've got to get better.
There's always something that comes up, you're gonna go, God, I wish we'd put that on the ordinance. Now that just, and you adapt.
Game.
Oh, you do. You have to change sometimes.
I think this is a good chance too to call out just the work. Many of you were at the groundbreaking ceremony for Anvil Townhomes, but just all the work that years have gone into making that a space that could accommodate what the vision is. And so I think it's just a real amazing culmination of a vision strategy.
Amazing how much has occurred lately, you know, as far as the housing, the land use. I mean, there's just so many things that have happened just recently, but it took a long time to get there.
I'm really tired. I know Austin online, sometimes it's hard to break in. Certainly wanted to give you an option if you had anything on Willie's charts or that you wanted to jump in on, and if you're no comment, that's great too.
No, nothing new to add. Sorry, I'm sitting here on the side of the road. I wasn't quite able to make it over the pass, but it's pretty dark, so you probably couldn't see me too well anyway. And my light keeps turning off in the car anyway, every 2 minutes or so.
Well, thanks for calling in. So yeah, the last agenda item was just any outstanding items for discussion, giving you all the opportunity to have an open discussion.
But on that note, I do have a couple things. Number one, I kind of want to just thank Public Works Director John Zarkis for doing a great job and helping out with some of the county projects and working together with our Road and Bridge Department to really make some things happen and move. That fuel tank, I think, is going to be a great resource for both the town and county. And I'd love to see the cooperation between city and county government guys for that. So thank you so much for that.
You know, it's one of my favorite things you've done in your short tenure here already is you filled in that hole by the post office. Come on. It's the small things, Scott. That thing has been there. Yeah.
Wait till you come to the Public Utilities Committee meeting. Okay. See you like Blair Witch Project.
A good call. I'd add to that, it looks like even this winter and everything else, the fall projects going on. John, I see him and our road bridge department collaborating a lot more, and that may happen with snow plowing and everything else. Things are going real smooth there. equipment, everything else. So.
We all have Jim to make it all work.
Well, even the private sector comes in there somewhere every now and again, so.
Yeah.
It's just nice to see though, it is.
The other thing,
I have 100
Uh,
cities to go through that.
Yeah, go ahead, Austin.
sorry, and yeah, it's pretty dark, but the other thing that we had kind of brought up is years ago we had done a joint county and town potluck for Christmas with staff and elected officials. And that was a tradition that, I think COVID stopped shortly after it first got started, but we discussed at our last meeting that if we could find a evening to get together and just celebrate and be thankful for each other, that would probably be great. Great bonding for town and county folks too, if you guys were into it.
Yeah.
This one.
What? Oh, Bevan's just mad at me. It's okay.
Maybe you do it on November 9th.
It's gonna be all week.
Yeah. Yeah, and we are transitioning, right? So things might be a little rough. I don't know that for a while, so you guys are gonna have to,
It is going to be very smooth. Tyler.
yeah, solid. But no, but I think it's gonna be.
It's
I mean, I was only here for a few of them, but hopefully this one's nice and smooth.
be okay.
Just
17, well, most of them are qualified out. So 17
You
M.
guys have had 17 now.
Good.
Yeah. There'll be a short update in the newsletter coming up this week, so check your inboxes. So maybe Melina and Willie could work together on some dates or ideas, or what's the verdict? Can we make some time for that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
Be great.
A really good boom dish.
I think I would just suggest hopefully like. Not the week of or even maybe the week before, but I don't know if we can do it earlier in the morning. Not work for you guys, but definitely around the holiday. I'd be traveling this year, so.
You're in December, you're saying? Yeah, and maybe a weeknight, there's only so many weekends in December.
Probably not Wednesdays.
Only time of next day is on. To be honest.
Right now.
Last joint session. So again, thank you so much for all you've done and for all you've given to us. Thank you.
Most of those great accomplishments that you guys highlighted would not have happened without.
Because of you and your staff, of course, but I mean, they've all happened under your watch, which is,
I miss you.
yes.
Greatest accomplishment is here.
Assault.
Hopefully you all can join us for potluck coming up on Thursday night. The going away potluck, so, and we're gonna provide, actually, John's providing like 10 pounds of beef. So we got some burgers. Yeah, at Kendall.
Did you say 6 o'clock? Was it 6 o'clock?
Yep, at Kendall. Community's invited at Kendall. There's not a lot of restaurants open, so you may as well come to a potluck.
Well, and I know it's been said tonight, and I've said it both in this building and out on the street. I tease you and call you Merlin because of your working magic all over this town. Thank you. In the short time you've been here, you've accomplished a lot. John, thank you.
It's noticeable.
And now you materialize 10 pounds of meat. So great.
Are you cooking it?
Oh, you got a whole menu.
I got
You guys
a whole menu, so.
So you're working your magic. Thank you so much. In all sincerity, thank you. And
Yeah.
you're right. We have seen it. Everybody has seen it.
And
I am
thanks.
gonna miss that whole side of the.
Yeah, I've had to deal with it too.
Oh, yes.
The inverse speed bump.
Yeah.
It's a couple of those.
An attention getter.
Slows everybody down by the school.
I can make a ditch over there. Really easy.
Okay, Austin, thanks for calling in. Anybody,
Drive safe.
anything else?
This has been great, you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good idea.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Thank you.
Yeah, hey, Austin.